I probably shouldn't be working on my own car right now, but that's the perks of being the boss.
That thing takes some abuse.
I gave this truck a second life. Now it's time to give it that third life. A new chase rack tied in to the rack up on the roof and to the new tailgate. It's a 52 record.
This is the one that they're building the frame for right now.
That frame should go underneath that in the morning. Heads or tails? Way overbuilt. That's just perfect.
Speaking of, here he comes. Woo! Baby, running.
I'm Bill Carlton. I built my first truck when I was 16. And ever since, me and my guys have been out here creating with our hands. Building the biggest, lowest, baddest custom trucks and cars in the game. People don't come here for what they need. They come here for what they want. This is Texas Metal.
You never know when you need a stress reliever. On the way to lunch sometimes, you might just randomly take a left, just go off the road, go jump some stuff. Just have a good time.
And Bill having all the fun.
Just clears your mind and start the rest of the day off on a different note. And of course, one of my favorite vehicles to do that in is the orange Baja truck.
That thing takes some abuse. What's up, Bill? Bro,
What are y'all doing over here?
what's up? We just rolling down the road, want to get parts. See you back here acting like a fool.
Sometimes you get a little stressed out at the shop, man. You just got to blow off some steam, right?
Hey, we know all about that. I can't believe this thing is still kicking, dude.
Yeah,
Still
6
looks-
years later, right?
It still looks the same.
It's showing its age now. You know, it's been done for quite some time, and I abuse it constantly.
I can tell.
It's about time to take it back in the shop and give it a little revamp. 6 years back, I bought a 2017 F-150 from Dave. I had a crazy idea to turn it into a Baja-style truck. And we did exactly that. Replacing the busted part of the frame, added a turbocharger, long travel control arms, big heavy-duty coilovers, traction bars, and of course, wheels and tires.
You know, I always did want this truck back. Not gonna happen, huh?
Nope. I have too much fun in this. This is one truck that I'm not getting rid of.
What you gonna do to it?
One of the first things you gotta do is upgrade the lighting. A roof rack with a bunch of lights in it is just a must.
You gotta see what you're jumping?
Yeah, night or day.
Okay.
At night, you wanna make it day.
There you go.
I just need to wake it up. Change the bumper up some, change the grill. New tires, I'm gonna put some more tires in the back.
So you gonna do a color change on it?
Definitely. I love the color, but it's time to change that too.
Something different.
Yeah, just a total facelift.
What about the back? You're not gonna do nothing back there?
Yeah.
Oh, you know he got something up his sleeve.
I want a new chase rack, but something that matches the roof rack and looks like it's tied in to the rack up on the roof and flowing down the bed sides and then flowing down into cool looking tailgate that ties everything in together.
Right.
And you can see the tires in the back really well too. The chase rack's signature on a Baja truck. I love the styling of it, but it's just time for an upgrade.
And you know what, Bill? I can't wait till you get this thing done. You gotta take me for a ride.
You got it. I'll let you know. As soon as I get this done, I'm gonna call y'all up.
I don't know.
He can't even
We'll
ride
strap him
because
in the
he
back.
gonna be squealing.
Yeah. Oh, that turbo sounds good too. Yeah.
You know, everybody knows that I don't keep vehicles for too long, but every once in a while, one just happens to stick around that I'm pretty fond of. Not every vehicle you drive can do what it does. This has a V8 turbocharged. I love getting behind the wheel, feeling the power. Man, it's fun to drive. I built this truck out of nothing, a wrecked up F-150, and just turned it into something real cool, something I'm proud of, driving it up and down the street. But it's showing its age, so if I'm gonna touch up a couple things, I might as well just touch up a couple things, right? I gave this truck a second life. Now it's time to give it that third life.
doing?
What we got going on, man? See you over here brainstorming.
Mm-hmm.
You're finally selling it, huh?
No, the lunch trips just are too fun. Not getting rid of this. I've had this 6 years. She's showing her age.
You know what that's from, right?
Yeah, no, it's not from sitting out there just hanging out.
No, definitely gets abused.
Yeah.
And if I'm gonna keep it, you gotta make it look good,
You
right?
gonna paint it now?
Definitely gonna change the color. All my cars are black. Looks totally out of place in my driveway.
Your friends are over?
Yeah. They're like, whose truck is that?
Yeah.
It's gotta have an accent color too.
What color are you thinking about?
Gold.
Gold.
He's on this gold kick lately. Everything's gotta be gold.
Everything gold?
Right.
Everything gold.
You already know.
Yep.
You already know. It's always lacked lighting too. So we gotta add a lot more lights. So I wanna add a roof rack
Okay.
and then have a bunch of lights up on the roof, new lights down in the bumper.
Uh-huh.
You know, change the bumper up a little bit. Of course, we gotta change the grill up
Yeah.
now. If I put a new roof rack on it, the chase rack really isn't gonna match. So I think we're gonna have to build a new chase rack that ties into the roof rack.
Okay.
I actually want it to come down the bed rails and down into the new tailgate we're gonna build.
Nice.
So it's all flowing and tied together.
Nice.
That's not cool.
That way you can see the 2 spare tires in the back.
Nice.
You know, needs new tires all the way around. Just repowder coat the wheels. I love the wheels that are on it.
Yeah, that's a
look
good
good on
looking wheel. You gonna
You
keep
know.
it black or are you gonna do the wheel gold too?
I don't know yet. We'll see. It's gonna be cool, man. I'm getting excited. You know, I can't get rid of my old truck, man.
Oh, man, that's
Nah,
not
but
fun.
it's been a long time coming. It'd be great to do it all over
Many,
again.
many jumps since then.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what we're gonna jump over this time, but something.
We found something.
How about your motorcycle?
Yeah, his. He was asking
No.
you. He was asking you.
Hell no.
There's so much caked on mud, you can barely see the suspension or the frame. So before we tear it all down, I'm gonna get the guys to clean it all off.
Look at that pillar right there where the tire's mashed on it because it's been watered up in that fender well. Man. I remember building this truck 6 years ago, and I fell in love with it right away, you know. I mean, it just had that Baja look. Always been in that kind of style of truck, and it's actually one you can get out there and beat up. I can't tell you how many tires I've changed on this thing. Broken windows to putting Band-Aids on it here and there. I mean, we've abused it, and that's an understatement. I think I remember putting these lights in.
So you're the one to blame.
Yeah.
Pulling this truck all apart definitely brings me back to, 6 years ago when we were building this for the first time. Everything's holding up pretty good.
It is, buddy.
Considering what all I put this truck through. Can you come this way, Annie? There you go.
Oh, it's broken.
Yeah.
Out of all the jumping and all that stuff over the years, that's the only crack that it has right there. It's split right there. Did you have to straighten this frame? Yeah. I didn't work on this one. I remember it being just completely smashed, and it was like the cab, that was it. And then it had big rails coming out of the back of it, and then it turned into the stock frame. I remember that.
Jesse! Man, changing up the Baja truck a little bit. So,
The old Baja?
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's time for a little revamp. So I want to put new lights in the bumper, and I'm going to put a roof rack on it. So I want, new lighting on it too. So I want a bunch of lights on this. So I need a piece cut out with 7 holes in it, 6 and a 1/8, and same with the roof rack.
All ready.
Thank you.
Okay, so we had the square lights in here before, and so now we're gonna go ahead and put the newer style round lights, but it doesn't fit, so I gotta have to cut the bottom of this bumper, cap it, then we'll be able to put this piece that Jesse burned in there. Our round light should fit. I'm just doing a rough template of the piece that I cut off. Maybe cut it down just a little bit, start welding this thing on. Okay, so I made some tabs, bolted them up to the light. Now we can stick the light in the position. Go ahead and tack it on. Find exactly where we want it at, weld it out. That's gonna be done for our light bar.
Just gonna go with the old eyeball. Yeah. You know, one of the benefits of driving this Baja as much as I did, I get to see all the strengths and all the weaknesses. Driving at night, it just wasn't bright enough. So this time around, I'm adding a whole lot more lights. This is gonna do the trick. Love it. It's gonna be bright.
Want the rest of them?
Yeah, I wanna
Do them all? Okay.
You know, 6, 8 years ago, all the lights were rectangle, square. That was the trend. But now, you know, everybody's kind of getting away from that. It's going back to the old school round lights. Great, this is exactly what I was talking about.
It's gonna be very, 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 very bright.
I can't wait till you're in front of me on the way to work in the morning. Over the years, we've gotten used to all sorts of vehicles rolling into the shop. But I'm not used to a big yellow school bus rolling in, packed with students for a tour.
Hey, Roger, how you doing? Carlos. Morning. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, sir. I teach at Lufkin ISD Automotive. I've taught there for 28 years.
You guys ready to see what we do here? Come on this way, guys.
We had an option to go to the drag races, but we decided to come to extensive.
Man, that's too many of you guys.
I've got students that like to weld. I've got students that like stereo, upholstery. All of them hard workers.
That's cool, man.
If they work hard for me, I promise.
I'll get the applications ready. We'll start filling them out.
How y'all doing, man? Good morning.
Good. This is Bill that owns the shop, guys. You started out 16 years old, working with your dad.
Yep, I was miserable at the time. I hated going to work with him, hated doing what we were doing. You know, I really didn't hate welding. It was just something I had to do, and I just didn't want to be forced to have to do it. But thank God he passed his trade down to me, and just kind of used that over in the automotive side, which I had passion for, so I just kind of ran with that. Man, myself in high school, I was just very reserved, you know. I just wasn't a school type of guy. It all goes back to what your passion is for. If you want to learn something, you're going to learn it. I mean, if you don't have any interest in it, you're not going to learn it. You know, I wanted to be out, I wanted to be working with my hands, I wanted to be creating something, and, you know, just sitting behind a desk just wasn't for me personally.
How long does it take to build a frame?
Frame something like this with probably 2 people, 2 weeks, you know, just building a back half of a frame like the one that's on the table over there. About 3 days, and that'll go underneath this truck right here, 52 record. It came in, it was all, you know, the factory record bed from back in the 50s. And we took all that off and just lifted the body off. We're building the whole new frame that is gonna be a record again, but just more or less a hot rod record. Well, basically what we do on a project like this frame, we take some measurements, take a quick little sketch, and transfer that sketch over onto the table and actually pull some metal off the wall and start building. We build from the firewall back on the table, and then we put it up underneath the cab, establish the wheelbase, build some body mounts, and then we build the front half of it. That frame should go underneath that in the morning.
You don't know how much we appreciate you letting us come down and be a part of this.
It's cool for us too to get to show, you know, the different stages of everything. Appreciate y'all coming by, man. It's been an eye-opening experience to have kids come through here.
You guys can see this truck right here. This is the one that they're building the frame for right now.
I can't wait to see what that generation is going to be doing 10 years from now, once they find their passion, to see what they create.
Never shut anything out. If you're trying to learn cars and learn things in the car industry, be a sponge, absorb it all in and learn it all.
We're always looking for somebody at Extensive that likes what they do and can't wait to get to work in the morning. Who knows? Once these kids graduate, They need to find a place for employment. You might see them again. Ready? We're finishing the frame on the 52 record. And from there, we can get it up underneath the cab.
It's like a 30-second off.
Damn. And start working on the suspension. Yeah. Tacky. You know, Ryan did a badass job on the rails. There's not too many vehicles with a frame like this around it, for sure. The transition between the 2x5 up to the 2x4 with the truss under here is super, super strong. The next step on this is tying in the back of the frame together. You know, I want everything 100% super strong. I know the truck's not gonna actually haul a car, but if he ever does want to, he can do it. Way overbuilt, that's just perfect. It's about 6.5. This side's good. You know, this right here is the beginning of what holds the whole rear suspension. What holds the axle into the truck itself is the 4-link mounts. It's gonna have air suspension on this. That's why it's a big oblong shape here. So that big drive shaft can go all the way through and still have that movement to articulate up and down. You know, there's gonna be an upper 4-link bar. It goes from here out to the axle. A lower 4-link bar goes here to the bottom of the axle. All the torque of the engine, it all goes through this point right here. So this has to be one of the strongest points on the whole suspension itself. Heads or tails? That's on the money, man. That's how you do it. The next step is getting the rear end in place. We're gonna kind of aim the pinion at the rear of the transmission, and that's gonna establish the pinion angle. Once that's done, we can start building suspension. All right, we got our wheelbase established, got our 4-link mounts, and it's looking real good. The next step is just burning out the lower bag mount. That way we can have our plates and be able to weld them right onto the 4-link tabs themselves, and that'll tie everything in all nice and together. So it'll be a super strong base for our airbag, which is gonna hold all the weight on the whole truck. So I'm gonna send these over to Jesse, have him burn out a 1/4-inch plate for me, and we'll have some nice, cool, strong bag mounts to weld right onto the 4-link tabs.
You know where the other bracket went? Oh.
Now that we have the frame mocked up and built for the 52 wrecker, we're moving on to the upper bag mounts.
And then we'll just boom shakalaka from here.
This is 3, so how about just 1.5 inches?
There you go, that'll work too.
You know, a lot of stuff we build the bottom up. In this case, we're gonna build the top bag mounts and then work our way down. So build from the top on this, make sure it's 100% perfectly level, and then we'll build down.
Ow, don't get my finger. Dang old.
We can go ahead and tack the bottom to that.
Yeah.
And hold it all
then
together.
Then we can take all this off,
yeah.
And we can just drop
then
that
it'll be,
right
then it'll be where it needs to be.
Yeah.
Put one clamp all the way through it. Cool.
You want to bend both of them, right? Come out.
They can get, no, just go straight out.
Because if I go straight out on this one, it's gonna get right into our holes.
Bend it.
Put a little slight bend in it right here.
Bend it, chop it.
Jesse, can I come over? All right, so got the bag brackets done. Everything's tacked in. We'll wait to throw some weld on there. We're gonna build a few more things out and just keep rolling with this.
I've been known to be a little hard on my vehicles. That couldn't be more true on that 2017 Baja. One of the things it really needs is some new tires. So I'm gonna get my boy Billy to get me hooked up and get them mounted.
I can't remember how long, but I've known Bill for a long time. He's hard on everything. So when it comes to these bead locks, this works well for him. The bead locks will ensure that he can get home safe, get back to the trailer without a tire falling off of the wheel. So what we'll do, come over here, break the bottom bead down. Everything about this tire is just tough. So if I can get some lube up underneath that bead and let it drop back down, now it's lube between the bead and the wheel. So now when I go back on it, many times it's a little bit easier and it'll drop off that rim flange. Use lube. It makes your life easier, makes the machines last longer, less chance of scratching the wheel. So what we'll do is we'll also replace this valve stem. It's just always good to replace the rubber. Rubber deteriorates. The last thing we want to do is do all this work. You go down the road and your valve stem breaks because we didn't do a simple 1-minute replacement on a valve stem. Now what we'll do is line this bead up on top of this, make sure it's all in there, and go and put that ring on there with the new bolts. What we're gonna do is put all these in. It's best that you go in a circle in these bead locks because you don't really want to go in a star pattern like we do on everything else. You can pinch a tire if it's not under the flange here for the bead for this outer ring to clamp down on the tire. And then I'm gonna go back with the torque wrench and we're gonna go around 3 circles. And we're gonna torque it down to 20 foot-pounds, and that will make sure that all the bolts are evenly torqued. We're gonna go ahead and throw it in our tire cage here, inflate it. I'm gonna inflate it up to 35 PSI, and then we'll go ahead and balance it. The best balance is to do a dynamic balance. Dynamic balance is balancing on 2 planes, up and down. It also balances the tire from side to side. I always watch the assembly spin just to make sure that I've done it correctly, make sure I didn't make a mistake. All right. Machine reads okay on both planes. This one's all ready to go, all balanced. Because Bill's running 2 spares on his pre-runner truck, I got 5 more to go.
You ready?
I'm here.
Let's do it. Instead of building a custom roof rack for my F-150 Baja, I got this one to save some fabrication time, but we'll incorporate it into the new chase rack so it'll all flow together. Where you at on the rib?
I think we're pretty even right there, actually. I think we're right in the same exact spot.
It's just one of those things always wanted on top of the truck, but never found the time to make it happen. The chase rack we're building is going to go from the roof rack all the way back to the tailgate. So I'm going to start out building bed rails. Jesse did a good job burning out the 1/8-inch plate. We're going to bend them so we can cap the bed sides, bed front. And I'm going to start filling in the back of the bed. We just drill a couple holes. We can bolt it later with like 1/4-inch bolts, but right now we can just put a couple Tech screws in it just to hold it.
What is this one for here? What is that?
And this is gonna work. This is the layout I think aesthetically is gonna look the best, you know, tie everything together. So I'm gonna have Jesse cut out 4 plates, put them all in place, lean them in just a little bit, and bring them in a little bit closer together on the top so it's not the same thickness. You know, it gives a little more style to it.
I think it's gonna look badass now. After I finish cutting these side pieces, I'm gonna just take them off the plasma table, clean off the slag.
Anytime doing something custom here, definitely want to pay attention, especially the boss's truck. If I don't do this right, Bill's gonna fire me.
You know, a lot of times when you already finish a build, you're thinking, what can I do next? Getting another chance on the F-150 Baja is something I've been thinking about for a while now. A custom chase rack was on top of my list.
Everything's parallel on my pieces, so I'm gonna go ahead and use some 2.5-inch 3/16 flat bar and start capping the backside. You know, I want a little bit thicker material right here on the edge. If anything's ever happened, I wanna make sure my end's solid. I don't know if y'all know, but Bill drives crazy. I mean, he sees a jump, he's gotta hit it. I got the outsides tacked in now, so I'm gonna go ahead and start moving to the inside. This one's got a slight radius to it, so I'm gonna have to roll it. Once I get both pieces rolled, do believe that's gonna work. Tack them in. Once I get them all tacked in, I'm gonna go ahead and snap these off, tack on the back pieces, weld it out.
Please, like, I know you got some treats for me in that pouch. Remember that one time when you weren't hungry? We were putting mesh in the tailgate, roof rack, bumper, chase rack. Same. The fit?
Looks nice. Chase rack's come along really good. You know, it's got some really cool contours and shapes to it.
Tilt it back a little bit.
You know, you'll never see nothing like this on anything else. That's the coolest part, I think, about it.
Now, I probably shouldn't be working on my own car right now, but that's the perks of being the boss. I want the tailgate gone, you know? You see Baja trucks, they don't have a tailgate. You see what's in the back. I just want something a little bit more of the off-road look. We're building a chase rack, we're building some style into that, and I just want to carry that same styling back into the tailgate. So just trying to get back and really look at what works the best, what ties the tailgate into the chase rack and ties the whole truck together from front to back.
Jesse got these burned out, fit up real nice for the tailgate over here. We're gonna make the inner structure here now and then cap the ends same way. All right, so I got these pieces bent up. They fit good in here. I'm gonna give it a few tacks, get that kind of fit in there how I like, and then work on the outside. So I could have made this all in one bin, but I didn't want to. I'm just gonna take some flat bar now that that's tacked in. Get a really hard edge right here. Instead of having that round edge that doesn't follow the flow of anything else that we got going on. Takes about 15 extra minutes, but whatever. It'll look better in the end. They'll look super cool whenever we get them all cleaned up and everything. We got this mesh piece that's gonna go on here and matches everything else we got going on with the front bumpers, the roof rack, the chase rack, the whole nine. This being on the tailgate is just gonna tie all that in, keep the flow of everything going, and keep this dude happy. Oh, it's way too long.
Mm-hmm. 16.
That's a good eyeball.
The suspension on this 1952 record is coming along nicely. The next pieces are going to be those upper bag brackets.
And that's the way the cookie crumbled. So we started with everything being flat and on the same plane and everything, and come through here and just bent this little bar up, give it a little bit of character, and it also goes with the flow of everything else going on. You know, 45s everywhere or a nice roll. This is also, you know, my upper bag bracket too. So this, you know, gonna be able to hold any weight that he decides to put behind this thing. We'll add another piece in here, you know, keep the flow going. You can see the flow, what we were talking about, you know. Now we got our bag brackets done, some bracing, you know, some more aesthetics. Also goes into the structure of everything. But it's looking really good. I'm pretty happy with it all. All right, let's pick it up, and I gotta get these shock tabs over this bar.
We're ready to put the frame suspension right underneath that 52 record cab.
We're going out that way?
I guess.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, sit right there, sit right there, sit it.
I got it. Getting that frame underneath the truck is a big deal.
Come on, man. Come on. Take it easy.
Because everything else gets built off of this.
Go up front, Zach.
From here, it's finishing the frame,
All right, right there, right there.
building that front suspension,
Centered up now, son?
Yeah.
building the record bed, and that record boom.
I'm just kind of eyeballing in between the two bolts right there, find the center.
Installing that LT4, interior, paint, you know, everything.
It's supposed to be 18. There you
I
go.
always wish and hope things can go faster. But after so many builds under my belt, I know it's just starting to get exciting.
All right, perfect.
Man, you right on time.
Bill, how's it going, man?
What's up, Billy?
Good to see you.
Billy's dropping off the wheels and tires for the 2017 Baja.
All right, so we got you all fixed up, got them all mounted, got the bead locks all locked in, went ahead and got them all balanced for you as well.
It was a pain in the butt. I know some of them bolts had to...
Little bit of work, but it wasn't too bad. But they're balanced so good, they're gonna ride like a Cadillac until you hit the trail and put mud on them, so.
Yeah.
But it'll be
I'm
good.
gonna do that.
Yeah, you ready to unload them?
Yeah, man.
All right.
Appreciate you, man.
Anytime. Yeah. Okay.
Man, got me all six hooked up, man. Thank you very much, as always.
You're welcome. Anytime, Bill. Always
All right.
happy to help. All right. Thanks, Bill.
Anytime you're building something on the outside of the vehicle, especially when it's as big as the Baja Chase Rack, your eye is definitely going to be drawn to it. So it's really important to make sure all those lines are perfect from the top all the way down to the tailgate. I like it. All that hard work is going to be worth it.
now we got the chase rack fully assembled and fit together. Tailgate's in here with the little roll pan addition. Got the little added pieces in here, mesh grills and the whole 9. So we'll get this thing off the powder coat. That nice gold color on here. We'll see what it looks like when it comes back.
Ain't trying to go fast.
You know, the thing that really stands out the most on that Baja is the color. After 6 years of the orange, it's time to go with something a little more on point with all of our other trucks.
All right, what I got right here is the first stage in this perfect black paint job. It's the sealer. It gives you a nice solid base to enhance the color. So we'll give one good coat of this, give it a few minutes to flash, and then we'll come with that extensive black. Most people think black is just black, but it's not. It's complicated. It's got like 6 different tones in it to make a black. That would be 9 grams of red, which is not a lot, but it's enough to make the color totally different if it's not there. We'll get this lid on, off to the shaker. Right now, we're getting ready for the second stage, which is the brilliant black extensive style. Here at Extensive, we don't do just plain colors. We go above and beyond. But what I'm trying to achieve is a real shiny, deep black. A not so good black will look kind of, I would say, shady and not so much intense as black should be. A real good black will be real dark, real shiny. That painting is like science as far as the mixtures and the chemicals, and it's an art because not anybody can just paint. You gotta really want to do it. It's gotta be within you. The last final step in this beautiful paint job will be the clear coat, the most important step. Give it that flash, that glass, that everything that you're looking for, the depth. When we get there, we're at the finish line.
I've known Bill for several years. I remember going over there, buying oxygen and acetylene from his dad, and I literally watched him grow up. And once again, we gotta come and save Bill's ass. I introduced Daniel to Bill in their younger days, and you know, Daniel ended up getting a job there. Now, Daniel's with me, and we're working together, and we branched off on our own. Bill, he does a lot of custom work and one-off stuff. We're more into the 4x4 mud life.
Bill's definitely been an inspiration. He's always pushing the bar, you know, and I do the off-roading, and it makes me push my bar, and, you know, he's ventured off into off-roading things, too.
We try to help one another out. We try to work together. He's just been a real good friend. You know, sometimes Bill will call us needing something. I said, Bill, don't call. Just come get it. You know it's here.
And, you know, that's the best part of being on the north side, man. We all like one big family. We all got different styles and different tastes, but when it comes time, we all help each other out.
Thanks.
Anytime, Bill, anytime.
Everything's back from the powder coater for the 2017 F-150 Baja, and it's either black or gold.
No, Bill has fun. Kind of a little rough on the truck. Traction bar mount gave out. So went ahead and put a gusset right in it. Now it's staying golden.
The Baja's been just a fixture at the shop. You know, it's a truck I just really like. I've just had a lot of fun with it. Building a custom car is always cool. You make it fit your personality at the time, but years later, you know, it's showing wear and tear. It's time for a new change, new look, and a new attitude. So I called up Dave and Daniel. I told them to come on. I got something to show them, and it's time for a ride.
I want to check it out. I want to see it.
Dude, I can't believe he got it done. The tailgate is what I'm most excited about. I want to see what he did there. You think he's just going to throw that old tailgate away?
Well, you know, he going to have it off the chain. He going to go to the top with it.
I know.
Speaking of, here he comes. Check it out.
Oh, man.
Woo! No, the gold with with the black, it just blends in. It's perfect. You know, when Bill comes up with an idea, ooh, it looks good.
I think he has enough lights.
Mm-hmm. I don't think he's gonna let us borrow it. How you doing? How you doing? You sure that's the same truck?
Man, you say that every time.
You know what he's gonna say next?
No, it's not for sale.
Come on, man.
No.
You sure?
Man, I had too much fun in that thing.
Okay.
I love how you kept the gold, but didn't just like overdo it. It's perfect, dude.
Man, I appreciate it. You know, that was the first thing. The orange,
Right.
it was cool, but
Yeah.
it's time for a change. You know, all my cars now are all black, so
Okay, you got 'em matching.
gotta keep it in the fleet.
There you go.
And accent it with the gold. You know, I just love the gold color.
Man, it pops
too, man.
perfect. dude.
Right? Powder coated everything gold. And how they do that is they powder coat super chrome first,
Oh,
and then
okay.
a transparent gold over it.
Like a
that-
candy.
Exactly. And just, man, it makes that
So it's
anodized kind of look and color.
Right.
That really, really stands out. And did all the suspension, took it all apart, redid all that also. Same suspension, but it looks totally different
Yeah.
with that new
Yes,
color
it does.
Yeah, that's the 2-stage. It looks good.
Those tires were on there for a while too. Had to get the new tires and had to put new grade 8 bolts because everything's gold. Might as well put
Right.
the
It's
new
all
grade 8
gotta
bolts
match.
in the bead lock, right?
Yeah.
I love it. I love how the lights you got tied in from the roof rack to the bumper.
Had a bunch of lights in it, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah.
You know, the old lighting on it was all square, so cut off the front of it and had Jesse just burn out a new plate with the right spacing and finished it off with the mesh on the outside also.
I thought it was a whole new bumper.
And the roof rack, man, I've had that in the back of the shop for years.
I know about that.
But, you know, it was time.
I love what you did up here, but when I seen you coming in, I seen some tires back there.
Let's see what we got going on back here with this beast.
Damn, Bill, I tell you what, you made a right decision throwing that tailgate away.
Gotta let the guy behind you see what kind of tires you got, right?
Yeah.
And everything you see is all handmade. I mean, that's all burnt out plate, all welded together, sanded, smooth,
Got
and
some
powder
hours.
coated from that. Oh yeah,
Some
there's definitely
hours.
some hours.
Yeah.
Had to change out the chase rack too, you know, putting all the contours against the cab. And you know, that old tired roof rack I
Yeah.
had already had the mesh in it. So had to carry that all into the chase rack, into the tailgate pieces.
I love how you can see all the welds. Look beautiful.
Man, appreciate
know-
it, appreciate it.
I've known you for a long time, Bill, and I know why you got 2 spares the way you be tearing up.
But we ready to go test it out? I know you ready.
He said you're gonna put him in the back.
I'd rather drive.
Man, you
because
ain't scared, are you?
I seen you drive.
We'll take it easy on him.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
You better.
Come on. You know, it's really cool to give this truck one more life. I think it's its 3rd life now. And I can't say thank you enough to all the guys, everybody that helps me out all day, every day, and to pitch in for one of my builds one more time.
It just come out so good, so well. You think he built us one?
Well, he ain't gonna sell you that one.
Nope. I know that.
Woo! Baby running. I like this little bird right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the little bird.
Come on, man.